Hey, Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Gilbert. Beautiful day in Southern Ontario.
Yes, thank you for joining us again to give us some update about United Lithium. Maybe you can refresh the memory of some of the audience about United Lithium first, about the background.
So United Lithium is a hard rock lithium exploration company. We're active in North America and Europe. In North America, we have projects in Canada and the US. And in Europe, we have projects in Finland and Sweden. Um, Finland and Sweden were acquired sort of in the middle of the generation about a year ago, and then earlier this spring. The US we staked just a few months back, and Canada we picked up probably about 2 years ago.
So let's touch upon some of the recent developments of the projects. Maybe let's talk about Bergby. How's the exploration program going on there?
Bergby, we've got 2 drills turning, and very soon we'll have a helicopter flying airborne magnetics and radiometrics, so we can see the potassium signature and any structural breaks. We're finding lots of pegmatites. We're trying to figure out now if we can focus on the pegmatites that are more lithium bearing and the ones that are lithium poor. I'd say we're probably around hole 113 or 114 now on the program, so good amount of core, but it's still in a very small area of the property. We really haven't covered much more than 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer block, but we're hoping to expand outside that and looking for a little more information that will help us vector towards mineralization.
And how about your finished project that you just closed the acquisition? So what in recent months, and what's your plan there?
Yeah. So we have had a team on the ground. They were out in the bush. They found some more pegmatite on the ground. So we'll be getting those assays back from the lab probably in about 6 weeks. And in approximately 6 weeks, we'll be starting a drill program in Finland.
And regarding South Dakota, recently you put on news that you stake a large positions, a large land package there. What's the story there?
We are following up on some historic production in the Black Hills of South Dakota. The Etta mine pulled out lithium spodumene crystals the size of school buses. And we were at the Etta mine. Bob Schaefer and I did some tours down there of the Etta and the Tin Mountain mine, and picked up some samples from another mine called the Hugo as well. And the spodumene crystals, or the spodumene minerals, are all carrying over 9% Li2O, which is higher than most other places on the planet. That gave us a lot of encouragement that our hypothesis and model could lead to something really good. And we have samples in the lab right now with ALS Chemics. So once those are done, you can go knock on their door for us. They're there in Vancouver, and they just have to go a little quicker for us, but we should have some good news coming from them as well.
Great to hear. So tell us a bit more about your growth strategy. What do you want to achieve by the end of the year?
Yeah, I mean, our plan is to become the hard rock concentrate provider. So we'll provide lithium concentrate for Europe and North America. Hopefully at the end of the year, we'll have enough drill holes to do a resource calculation in Sweden. Hopefully we have enough information in Finland that we can bring in a second drill and get that drilled up and go to resource quickly there as well. South Dakota has some really good permitting advantages tied to pegmatites. They are a local municipal permitting program if you stay under 5 acres. So we're using that to our planning to our advantage. And there's also a small feldspar producer in the state who's got all the equipment we need to crush and prepare the ore, or any ore we find. So if that works to our advantage to team up with them, we might have a partner with the equipment already in place. And in Canada, we're getting off to a slow start. Last year was forest fires and COVID. The year before was COVID. Now we're dealing with shortness of people and equipment in Northern Ontario. So Dave Berg is working away on that, and hopefully we'll make some advancements. I don't know if we'll get a big crew on the ground before snow flies, but our intention is to cover the whole property this year.
So let's spend some time to talk about the macro, the energy space, and what's happening around the world. In Europe, do you see a growing concern on the energy crisis? We all heard from the news. Is that affecting your business positively or negatively?
I mean, the sentiment is positive towards energy metals, lithium, cobalt, nickel. The the reaction from investors is to apparently go downstream to the chemical producers, the battery producers, and then the EV producers. And they haven't really put a lot of capital into the explorers yet. So where I see is, I think right now, Benchmark announced the other day that there's 315 battery factories being built or already built around the world. There's just not enough supply to meet the demand those factories are all going to be grabbing for. So we're looking at really trying to accelerate as much as we can in Europe and North America so we can feed the local markets. Concentrate is relatively stable to ship around the world. Hydroxide and carbonate, they have a bit of a shelf life, not as bad as some other chemical products, but you don't want them sitting around for years on surface. So we're trying to really focus on getting our projects advanced enough for the local European market and for the local North American market for the chemical, battery, and electric vehicle manufacturers.
And you also see what's going on in the world, where the inflation rates going high up, and now the central banks in the world increasing the interest rate to combat that. So is it affecting the demand of lithium? Lithium price seems to be climbing slowly a bit. So what's your take on the lithium price?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see a steady increase, not big jumps, but a steady increase till at least the end of the year. And then we'll have a better sense of how many of the new technologies for clays or brines are actually going to be able to step up and deliver to the production line. Right now, it's, hard rock is pretty reliable. The technology is there. The Argentinian and Chilean brines are just, without them and Australia's hard rock, we're kind of flailing in the industry. So, the end of the year will be a tell on forecasting, even a little better predictor of the future. But at the pace the battery factories are being built, either they're going to have empty factories if they don't get more mines going, or maybe they'll switch them and investors will bail on them and come into the mining side of the industry. Because it seems kind of odd, the billions of dollars that are going into gigafactories are just not delivering into the mining projects.
And you also see that from recent happening in the lithium space, the Chinese players, the chemical and automaker, they're pretty active in acquiring stakes in lithium mines. So do you see that the trend going to fast forward to the European players and the downstream players in Europe and North America? Are you seeing that happening? What's the response of that?
I'd like to say I wish it was happening more. I mean, other than Volkswagen and Tesla kind of dipping their toes into the water, into the mining space, the North Americans and Europeans have really stepped back. And there's some big projects that are going to need a lot of lithium production where they're tag teaming with commodity traders. Well, commodity traders don't control the lithium market. The miners really are now controlling it, or the Chinese manufacturers, because Ganfeng again just did another deal in Argentina. They've been steady doing pretty much, well, one big mining deal every quarter for the last year. All you could have had one or two North American or European companies come in and do those same deals, but they've sat off to the sideline and not pulled the trigger, as to say.
Interesting thoughts. Willie, a good time chatting with you here and giving us some updates and sharing some of your insights about the lithium space with us, Michael, today.
Thanks a lot, Gilbert.
Thank you for your time again. Talk to you soon.
Cheers.